biting at your tail. I tell you guys, I was watching a cat these last 5 days.
Mm-hmm. How'd it go?
Yeah.
Horrible. Horrible. Bro, this cat fucked up my rug. Like,
Just scratching at it.
Yeah. So what happened was that they left us this laundry list of like things. And at the end of it, they were like, hey, can you please download Snapchat so we can stay up to date with our cat? I was like, yeah, absolutely not. What are you, outside your fucking mind? I'm just going to Snapchat you your cat throughout the day? Like, what are you asking me right now? So one of the things was, hey, he usually either sleeps in our bed or on his perch. They brought the perch down. It's like this 3-level, 6-foot-tall thing I had to put in my guest bedroom.
The cat tree.
Yeah. So I'm like, word, he's definitely not sleeping in my bed, so he's sleeping on the perch. So day one, we close our door. I leave the whole entire living room, kitchen, guest bedroom, guest bathroom open. His like litter box is in the guest bathroom. I hear him walking around, and I don't want him on the fucking countertops because that's gross. You know what I mean? Like, I already have Nova hair flying around. I don't need, and that's my dog. I don't need a stranger's cat fucking walking all over my shit, rubbing against my glasses and stuff like that. Nah. So in the middle, dude, like 10 minutes into him, like us trying to go to bed, I hear like a crash. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? There's like a picture that's like on top of our wine cooler, which like he had to jump on the fucking chair to get on the table to get on the wine cooler, knocked it right on the ground, shattered it. I was like, all right, dude, you're in the fucking guest bedroom, bro. Like, you lost that privilege real quickly. Put him in the guest bedroom, shut the door, but I left like the bathroom light on, so it wasn't pitch black. He could find his way to the bathroom in the middle of the night, like whatever. We wake up in the morning, dude. If I could bring my camera over there, I would. He like from like the guest bedroom's carpet, and then the living room's hardwood or linoleum, or whatever the fuck it is. And dude, he gouged like an inch of carpet all the way to like from beginning of door to end of door out of it, bro. Just gouged. It was everywhere. And I was like, oh, you motherfucker. Because I was like, now I'm not getting my security deposit back. But yeah, dude.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'll never watch another cat again in my lifetime.
No, cats are really tough, dude.
Dude, he was like, yeah. He's like, we were thinking about maybe leaving him in the apartment and you just going up and feeding him and playing with him. But I think he wants some human contact. I was like, okay, makes sense. Like, you're a pet owner. I would think the same thing for Nova. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker wants nothing to do with me. Like, why? What?
No, it wants to. It's living in your house. It doesn't want anything to do with you.
He wants to be alone.
Your
He's
shelter.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, I'm like,
no, you're living in his house. That's
yeah, exactly. It is taking over your house. It owns your house.
Yeah, I know you want.
This is the difference in personality.
I don't know why people would ever want to.
All right, I love cats because
you're lazy, bro.
No.
All right, you don't want responsibility.
All right, well, this will be our.
It's 100%.
Okay. This will be our first topic. So we'll talk about cats because we already been talking about them. So I want a cat because they are an animal that happens to live in your house and is cool with hanging out with you once in a while, but like it's not a pet. Like cats aren't just like a baseline, like a dog needs you, whereas a cat is just like, yo, I live here and like I like to hang out with you sometimes. Whereas a dog is like, I need your attention 24/7. And that's just
a dog does not need your attention 24/7. Yeah, Nova chills on her own like a lot of the time.
Okay,
like,
but they still
I come home, Nova runs to the door excited to see me. The cat like hides. You know what I mean? Like I think the main.
It's also
like,
not your cat. Have you ever had a cat?
No, I'm not a fucking weirdo, bro. Are you kidding me?
Has your family never had a cat?
Never. We're not cat.
Have you had dogs?
Yes.
Okay, so.
Oh, you met Gizmo.
Did you meet Gizmo?
Yes. Yeah, but I don't remember much.
Probably
of that
towards
weekend,
the end of his day, he had no hair on his tail, missing teeth.
I don't. Yeah. I don't remember that weekend. No, we showed up at your house and we just started drinking, and then maybe I met the dog at some point that night. And me and Lucas tried to drive home at 6:30 in the morning the next day and slept on the side of the road.
That was. Dude, we were both.
I was like, Lucas, I'm falling asleep.
Toothbrush. I had to like buy a toothbrush to brush.
Yeah, we stopped at the deli right near your house, Joey, the gas station deli.
Yeah.
And we got bacon, egg, and cheeses and toothbrush.
Because we were up till like fucking 4 a.m. and we decided that we needed we both had.
I had work the next day.
Neither of you did work the next day.
No.
You shot yourself right in the foot, bro. You're like, yeah, we're gonna be reputable members of society. You did nothing that whole day.
I should have just, I had never taken a day off at Tri-Fin at that point. I don't know. Like, I literally had never taken a day off. I should have just taken the day off.
I forgot you even worked at Tri-Fin.
I know, right?
Yeah. I haven't heard that. I wonder how they're doing.
Gone.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They're fine. They're still
Decimated.
kicking. But anyway, cats. We're getting a kitten.
I thought you're not
But
because
no.
you
All right.
have to get
So
them.
so we're trying to look for a shelter. So right now the shelters are doing. You're only allowed to
Buy
look
one,
at the
get one
cats
free.
online. No, you're only allowed to look at them online. You're allowed to do a Zoom date with a cat. I'm like, am I gonna talk to a cat over Zoom? What the fuck? Like,
Just
what the
dingling a
hell is
little
that?
bell or
Yeah,
something.
and then you have to commit. You have to sign off that you're gonna take it before you go and pick it up. I'm like,
That seems
I've never even
irresponsible.
seen this cat in real life. How do I know you're not catfishing me?
Yeah.
No funny.
It's just
No funny
sedated,
sentence.
bro. It's
But
like
yeah,
fiery thing.
it's like they're showing you a little kitten, and then when you get there, it's like a full-grown 14-year-old cat. It's like on its last limbs.
And
You know, like-
my mom's like best friend, her daughter just adopted a kitten, and she's like in her like late 20s, and she just adopted a kitten, and she was asleep one night, and she woke up to the cat attacking her face, and she had to be hospitalized because it ripped like from her nose to her lip completely open, like
Holy
attacked her
shit.
one night.
Shitty cat.
fucking sway her to
Shitty
sleep.
cat. I've never had an experience like that.
Yeah,
Have
but
you
that's
ever owned a cat before?
Yeah. I grew up with 3 and at one point 4 cats.
that says a lot
in the
about
house,
you.
and 2
that makes
dogs.
sense. I see that. I totally
Well,
see.
and 2. We had 2 dogs too the whole time. Yeah.
4 cats at one
Well, no,
point?
3 cats. 3 cats. At one point had 4 because I
You
begged
kind of
my
look
mom.
like a cat, bro.
So, dude, we went to this like street fair.
You kind of
Good one. Dude, we went to the street. I think I was like 11. We went to the street fair by my grandma's house, and we would like walk up and down. And the first tent is like a animal rescue, and I go in and I see these like this little fucking cute ass tiny kitten, like all gray and fluffy and just adorable. And literally the rest of the day, I swear I was so young, I don't really remember. My mom was like, you have just been like, Mom, can we get the cat? Mom, can we get the cat? Literally for that, we walked like, and this is like a pretty big street fair, so we're walking like all the way around. It's probably like a couple hours, like going all the way through and like stopping for a little bit. And the whole time I just wouldn't stop asking about the cat.
It's
And
a
she was
tried
like,
and true technique,
she was like,
bro.
She was
It
like,
works.
fine. If the cat is still there by the time we get back, we can get it. And we get back, and one of the like it was a like a kitten, like a girl and a boy, and the boy was already taken. And I was like, Mom, we can't just leave it here. It's already lost its sibling, like its sister or its brother or whatever. Like, and long story short, we got the cat. But yeah, so anyway, I am going to get a kitten.
I have a good topic.
Exactly.
It's probably me just like being like a fucking idiot millennial, but I've been wondering why. I'm embarrassed to even bring this up. Going on YouTube, like how like Vicstar and like Mr. Beast and certain people in their, like when they release videos now, in their video title, they have like a little like that red circle emoji. And I didn't understand what it was until I started. Now I get recommendations to watch live streams.
Oh, yeah.
So all these guys are kind of like fishing you into thinking that their like most recent video is a live stream. And now that I've noticed it, everyone fucking does it. Like like when you like look at like all of like the video game stuff, and like anyone who like posts it, like Charlie or someone, like people who post content frequently and also sometimes live stream, like every time they upload a new video, they post a little red circle for the first like 24 hours it's up, and then they delete the circle from the thing. And
they update like the fucking thumbnail.
I think that's kind of like part of a trend that I've seen on YouTube where like clickbaiting people has become like accepted. Like people think it's funny, people enjoy it. Like Nick Merckx and people, like they're like, oh, this gun is like, or like I'm quitting this game or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's become like a normal kind of like joke.
Well, it's not even a joke. I think it's simply a business strategy.
No, it is. No, it's a business strategy to get you to click. It's clickbait at the end of the day, but people like everybody used to like, I feel like we all used to like hate that. Like, but now that it's become like normal, we all know that it happens, that like in the creator world, there's like this trend of it being like accepted. Like it's like, oh, you got me.
It's only the creator world though.
Yeah, only the
an
creator
article
world.
like on Yahoo or something like that. Like the most recent one was like it was this article, like I love Always Sunny, and it was like, oh, Caitlin Olsen threatened to quit because of like this. And I was like, oh, like what the
I have to know.
I was like, oh shit, like no way. And it was talking about something like on the first season, like because they wanted her to be like the voice of reason and not in like the debauchery. I was like, you fucking motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was like, that was such a waste of my goddamn time. Like I think there's something to do with like I had to read that versus like watch it on a video too. So like I'm like more invested into it, like
Yeah.
But it's
work
like
wise.
if it works, why wouldn't you do it? I mean, that's like why,
Well,
like,
because you piss off
No,
your.
but I'm just saying, but like that's why like HuffPost and like any clickbait like bullshit news site, like that's why
But
they
that's also why they lost all their. They're losing
for
all
sure,
their credibility.
for sure.
Like
But
that's why fake news is a thing, and it's kind of real because most of the headlines are just like way overblown.
Yeah,
You know,
it's horseshit.
like
Dude.
you kind of like you lose. I think that's where it's weird in the creator world. Like it's not having the same effect on creators as it is on news sources. Like,
Well, it's also like you like fuck like I fuck with Nick Merck, so it's like if one video's fucking whatever, I'm like what like so be it.
Yeah,
I'm still
whatever.
gonna watch them. Like if it's the Huffington Post, I'm like word, I'm never gonna read your shit again in my life.
yeah,
It's like,
but
fuck you, I don't even read it on the normal. You know what I mean? Like watching his content's a normal thing to me. Like reading the Huffington Post is. So I'll give you a shot, and then you blew it, and I'm like, fuck off, dude. I'm never gonna get him.
Well, I think also like even just like the context of like when you're looking at a YouTube video, you're like, this is for entertainment. So like the clickbait is kind of like it's entertaining in itself. Whereas a news source or like an article, you're expecting like some real information.
Yeah,
And when you get fucked, you're like, oh, you just lied to me. Whereas on the entertainment like YouTube side, you're kind of like maybe in that mindset.
You're
like,
expecting a little fucking little spice on it. You know what I mean? There's a little embellishment here and there. That's for granted.
even like the Call of Duty like compilation videos, or like, you know, now they have like Among Us videos. They always say like, you know, like you would never think you could get on the top of prison like this, and then they don't put that clip until like the 17th minute. It's like,
oh my god, yeah, I know. I hate that. I hate
so like shit like that like isn't even a clickbait, but like it's like these little strategies that like I would kind of consider a clickbait, and it's just so frustrating. That little red circle fucked me up. It was like I found this out like 2 days ago, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? Because I never like got recommended live stream because I never watched YouTube live streams at all.
I don't even know how to get to it on YouTube unless it's recommended.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if you could like. Is there a live stream tab, bro? I'm like, I have no idea how to get to it unless like I just watched like Courage JD video and like he's like happens to be online and like, oh, he's live. But bro, I never. Yeah, fuck that, dude.
Yeah, that pisses me off.
So that's why like TikTok's kind of fire for like the Call of Duty clips and whatnot because like you only have a minute. So like even if they put it at the end, it's at 50 seconds. You know what I mean? It's
You're
like
not wasting any like your time. You don't feel like your time was wasted.
no, absolutely.
Yeah, so I found this Reddit post. This was like a couple weeks ago, but I'll share my screen here. So it was like, what's an industry secret in the field you work in? And there's just so many like great replies. So the first one is like, I design slot machines for casinos. Don't play slots. So it's just plain and simple. And then there's some ones that are just like, you know, a little too wholesome that aren't like fun. It's like, okay, like grooming and kennels and whatever, like you can go there, but I'm an attorney. The secret is to shut the fuck up.
Think like a fish. It's much harder to get caught if you don't open your mouth.
Yeah. So I'm a server. No matter how much we insist it's okay, we're 100% lying. We will get fired if we deviate from anything from pure delight for you. It's keeping us home. We dread it. Please don't believe us. And this one was interesting. So vodka is really, really, really cheap to make. The glass bottle costs more than the juice. I had no fucking clue that vodka was that cheap.
But is that also true? From Fuddle?
Yeah.
Like what? Why do you believe that?
WTF happened in 1972.
Yeah.
All right. Literally. All right. You want to like Google it? I'm just saying this is based off of what people are saying here.
Okay, I'm going to type on this right now and say the most absurd shit. Are you kidding me? I'm sure dude, I feel like in every industry though, there's like so much fucking shit to like say, like no matter what. Influencer marketing. Hey, they would have done it for $500, but you settled for 10 grand.
Vodka's the easiest spirit to make. I don't know. There's not going to be anything really good here. But I don't know. I don't think people are just like replying to this like ironically and just like making things up in one line to try and like make a joke. I don't know, maybe.
I feel like I don't understand Reddit enough to like agree or disagree with that statement. I don't know what users. I feel like there's a lot of trolls on fucking Reddit, dude. I feel like I've seen some posts like from like I haven't been on Reddit in years, but like sometimes on like Twitter, like I'll see like a link to it. And like some of them are like the most depressing fucking things. It's like how COVID's affected my life, my lifestyle. It's like I've disassociated from my family because my mom stopped social distancing, and I killed my wife because she didn't wear a mask. Like, dude, the stuff on there is fucking wild. I feel like Reddit's the underbelly of like, that's like the internet. When people are like, oh, there's weird shit on the internet, I feel like they're talking about Reddit, honestly.
Well, maybe. Lucas, what's your take?
That Joey's just way naive about the internet then, because Reddit.
You think Reddit is less fucking like underbelly-ish than like Twitter or Instagram or any other social platform?
Yeah, but
there's levels. There's levels. There's Twitter and there's like Facebook, Instagram, then there's Twitter, then there's Reddit, and then there's like 4chan,
yeah,
and then there's 8chan, and then there's like the dark web. Like you get deeper and deeper into like
Reddit is not near
the most public.
No, Reddit is not near the underbelly, and it's public because that you think it's the underbelly that you're not close to the underbelly. Like Reddit's doing a good job of, or the dark places of the web, the underbelly, they're doing a great job for you to think that Reddit is that.
Well, I'm not saying like these things where I need torrent browsers to get in. I'm talking about like the popular public domains that people
No, well, you can get into conversations on Reddit. Just like, dude, Twitter has some really fucking weird, dark.
I think Twitter's right above Reddit. I think Twitter's right above it.
My favorite.
No, I think it's just your experience. It might just be your experience of Reddit, like what you've seen.
I've seen my favorite Trump meme today, or Trump tweet, and it was so simple, but it was so fucking funny. Where is it? This woman, Heather, I would wade through a sea of COVID-infested water to vote for President Trump on November 3rd. And all he says is, thank you, Heather.
Wait, what was that? I completely missed it. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God. It's this woman.
Listen to it in the editing when you edit this.
Yeah, exactly. No, but this woman just tweets, I would wade through a sea of COVID-infested water to vote for President Trump on November 3rd. And Trump, on his own Twitter, says, thank you, Heather, like as a retweet, which is so fucking perfect.
He's a troll and a half.
What's the other? He has another very cool Kanye.
This one was actually like, Emily saw like a TikTok about this too. So former Bath and Body Works associate here, the sense they discontinue will come back with a different name and new marketing. They're just recycling the sense. So at Bath and Body Works, where they sell candles, like they never actually make new scents. They just every season they just take all the labels off of them, or like they get the same products with new labels and a different name and then market it differently, but it's the exact same scent.
That's not that.
So like all.
Bro,
what did you say?
I said I feel like that's not that surprising because like if you go on Bath and Body Works and look at like the sales when they have like different things, right? Like for their candles. Some of the names, you're like, how the fuck is that a candle? Like Christmas sweater. What?
Yeah.
What?
No, and so every
what if they're all the same scents, but the stickers, labels they put on are the things that like you actually like take a whiff of, and like you're just now that you're like, oh yeah, it smells like that. You light the candle and you think it smells like that.
Yeah, well,
candles are expensive, bro. Shit's like $8 a pop.
They're crazy
ridiculous.
Emily saw a TikTok of a guy who was like, I fucking wanted this scented candle. I bought like 10 of them. And then I went back to Bath and Body Works because I ran out. I don't know, this guy used a lot of candles. And he was like, hey, do you guys still sell this scent? And they're like, no. So he called the corporate office and he's like, hey, do you guys still sell this scent? And they were like, no, we discontinued that. And he was like, okay. He went to the store and he started smelling like different candles. And he found this exact same scented candle, but it just had a different name and a different fucking like scheme around it. And he was like, you wouldn't even fucking tell me when I called your like corporate office. You wouldn't even like, I don't know.
They're going to say, yeah, we discontinue it and put false labels on it.
Yeah, I don't know. But like, the guy was clearly not happy.
Bath and Body Works was like a company on like the fringe of bankruptcy. I was just reading something on like Morning Brew that they had like a massive, I think their stock was up like 33% like in the last month or like during COVID, because like everybody's home doing like home repairs and shit like that.
Yeah.
That like what it's like one of those things. It's like something that was on the verge of dying. Just like COVID was actually a benefit for it, which was crazy.
Mm-hmm. This was another one that was kind of interesting. And Lucas, I know this might resonate with you more than with Joey, but saying that like some therapists are like themselves unhinged, which like totally makes sense. Like, how could you expect every therapist or like psychologist that's helping someone to be like totally like on top of their own shit, you know?
They should make a movie or a TV drama about an unhinged psychiatrist like serial killer. I feel like that'd be a great plot.
Oh, this one was actually like really interesting. So basically what he's saying is that there was multiple about this, but people who work in the RV industry saying that RVs are pieces of shit, like all of them. They're made because you only use them, like they're made to last like 52 weekends or something. But for most people, 52 weekends is like 7 years.
Yeah.
So yeah. So in 7 years, when you use it for the 52nd time, you're like, oh, we've had this thing forever. No wonder it's breaking down. But really, you've only put like 5,000 miles or 10,000 miles on it or something. So it's like they make them with piece of shit materials just to last like enough uses so that you think that it's durable, but it's really not.
I feel like that might be why you see more people, like you see less RVs on the road now, and more people like buying those like Mercedes vans and just renovating themselves. Because you can, first of all, do it cheaper, and second of all, like make it last, because you're buying like an actual, like, you know, a solid vehicle that then you have complete control over like the quality of the interior.
Yeah.
Some RVs are fucking sick though. One of my dad's friends used to like vacation at this place called Strawberry Park. I think it was in Connecticut or maybe Rhode Island. But it's like he had it was just like a vacation spot. So he had like it wasn't like a trailer park, but it was like a trailer park, but like super nice, but like not like a trailer park. But some people would like pull up RVs there and stay for like a couple weeks on end and whatnot. And dude, some of them, dude, like you park it, like TVs come out the side, like there's like bathrooms, fucking hot tub. I'm like,
a water slide.
Yeah, I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, I spent like $400,000 on this RV. I'm like, what?
Jesus.
Could have bought a beautiful house for $400,000, but you want it to be mobile? Like, are you kidding me? Crazy.
All right, who's got a new topic?
Yeah, so I got a couple. Well, the first one I wanted to say was I saw this recent trend of people with clout, aka influencers, coaxing people to vote. Now, I don't think it's wrong to get people to vote. I think it's wrong to persuade people to vote for your side. So David Dobrik, for example, was doing like a giveaway where if you registered to vote, he was giving away like 5 or 6 Teslas to like, you know, random winners or not. And they would like register to vote through a certain link and whatever. So, but he was never like, yo, vote for Trump, vote for Biden, whatever. He never said his political opinion, but I'm sure people know his political opinion if they like follow him.
Yeah.
There's going to be a little bit of bias in that.
Well, I don't know his political opinion at all. So
I don't follow him, so I don't know either. But then there's people like, you ever hear of like Tana Mojo? You know what I'm talking about? The blonde chick. She's like pretty, like YouTube famous.
I think I've probably seen her on TikTok like once or twice.
Yeah, she'd be ugly as fuck. But she was saying like, I'll send you nudes if you show me that you voted for Biden.
Oh.
Yeah. She's a Democrat. And that I was like, not only is that super fucked up, but I was like reading online, I was like, it's like super illegal. Like you can't like coerce people to vote for a specific side of things.
It's voter like manipulation or something.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, I was thinking about it, I was like, all these fucking people with like hundreds of thousands or millions of followers, like that's a lot of people. You know what I mean? You get a PewDiePie and a Mr. Beast to say vote for the fucking either party. Like that has sway. You know what I mean? That's just not like a couple people. Like I'm not saying that could 100% influence an election, but like it could influence.
No, well, I mean, if they
you had enough of
incentivize
people
it,
like that, you know what I mean?
well,
I'm
there's
not
a lot
saying
of people who
you-
don't care
We also
enough that will
understand-
just vote for the incentive.
But we're also like
David Dobrik got 100,000 people to sign up to vote.
This is an
Now, if those people knew his affiliation and they sign up to vote, either A, to win the Tesla, or B, because they fuck with the guy, and let's say he was a Republican, then I would assume that more people would swing Republican side, because only like if somebody's like a hardcore Republican and he's like a Democrat, they're not gonna fuck with him. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's an interesting topic because it is kind of like unprecedented times in the sense of there haven't really been like super influencers before that aren't famous from like doing something specific. They're just like famous to be famous. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what I
Like
think.
the Kardashians.
Yeah, exactly. But like at the same time, for a long time, I bet you like, you know, you have Derek Jeter, you have like Muhammad Ali, and like I feel like there's like different eras, and now we're in an era where people like actually are willing to have a political voice, whereas before, like I think it wasn't like professional, like to use your platform to have a political voice. But I just think it's like we're just in kind of
Well,
like
so you're
Well, also
and you're
it's super
allowed
polarizing.
but
like,
you're allowed to endorse a candidate. Like anyone's allowed to endorse a candidate. Like The Rock just endorsed Biden. Like you're allowed to endorse them, but you're not allowed to say, hey, like imagine if a president like Trump was like, hey, if you vote for me and you send me a picture of it, I'll send you $100. Like you can't do that. Like you definitely can't do that. And like you can't exchange any sort of value in return for a vote. Like that whole idea of like, hey, I'll send you nudes if you vote for this person or whatever it is. Like if you vote for this person, you get entered to this. Like that's not allowed at all. And I feel like people are probably like breaking that rule accidentally.
Yeah.
Like not knowing that it's not allowed.
I feel like you should know it's not allowed. I feel like that's like a common sense type of thing.
I think it's like, hey, go exercise one of your like fucking rights. You know?
Yeah, you could say that. Go exercise. That's what David Dobrik's doing. Hey, go vote. You know what I mean? But he's not like, hey, go vote for Biden. I think that's like the big difference. Like, I think you have like a responsibility when you have influence over a large amount of people.
No, I think that I don't think that I mean, The Rock just came out and endorsed Biden. You know what I mean? Like,
he says I support Joe Biden's ideas and I would love him as president.
And
he's not
I will
saying
vote for him.
Bring him. I'll bring him to the WWE if you vote for Joe Biden.
No. But he's saying you should vote for him.
Yeah,
is what he's saying.
You know, I bet you that David Dobrik like has his lawyers and whatever, and they made sure that any content that he has produced in recent times, if he were to do this, like this Tesla thing, this giveaway,
was not like affiliated.
No political bias, because otherwise he wouldn't be able to do something like that. And I think that if you are, you know, like if you think of what his crowd is, it's very young. A lot of people, like, you know, it's not going to be. I don't think that like. I think that.
Which is even worse, bro. Just like immature fucking 18-year-olds who are going to vote for their first time. They don't know what to do. They're not informed. Oh, like this kid I look up to.
But he's not telling you who to vote for.
I know. But that's what I'm saying. It could be bad if he did say that.
You have that
if he did.
Fucking TikTok, whose like thing is Trump 2020. And he like only posts like really like cut up clips of like Biden speaking or Kamala speaking or like whoever, or like things where like Trump does something good, and it just like cuts to his face wearing like a MAGA hat. He's like, yeah, Trump 2020, and he has like, you know, 2.2 million followers, and like just someone like that too, like obvious, like I don't think he's ever gonna sway an election. He also has a pretty big poll and is making a lot of kids like young people like want to vote.
Impressionable people.
Yeah,
like, I don't think any individual is strong enough to do anything impactful, but I think as a collective, like the creator community is definitely large enough to do that.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would. The only time that it would actually like make a true impact is if like David Dobrik, PewDiePie, like all these guys got together and were like, we are going to together endorse Joe Biden, right? Like that's when the platform. But like I think that they also absolutely have the right to like flex, like, you know, flex that muscle, and if that they want to use that platform for politics, they can. It just kind of, you know, for some people that puts a bad taste in their mouth. But I don't think you can.
It shoots them right in the foot.
But if you can't say to someone that like, you know, you have this platform, you're not allowed to use it to, you know, support something that you believe in.
No, I definitely think you are.
Yeah.
I definitely think you can't do the Tana Mojo approach, like I was saying, and like bribe people to
I
fucking
think
do
that,
that.
I'm pretty sure that is illegal. So
That is definitely, that's 100% legal. Like if it wasn't like if someone wanted to, I mean, they could really like press it. I imagine that someone could be like, make it a bigger issue.
just fuck this person's life over.
Well, if she had real intent behind it, like if she actually would do it, or if she actually did it, if she actually does do it, then she would definitely get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Hiccups.
Another interesting thing I found, which kind of relates like the social media thing, but not really, is I was listening to an episode. So I used to listen to My First Million a lot, and then I stopped just listening to podcasts in general. And then Shane, you talk about it up the wazoo, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start listening to it again. And they were talking about this dude who started an erotic newsletter, and an erotic newsletter, advertised it on Pornhub. It was generating like $4,000 to $5,000 in revenue a month after a couple months of starting it up. And he sold it on micro acquisitions, which I don't know if that's Ryan Culp's site or not, but he sold it on micro acquisitions for like 75 grand. And then today, so I listened to that podcast yesterday. Today, I saw Mr. Beast tweet. He was like, dude, I want to get off of social media, but I want to stay in the loop. So he's like, I want to hire somebody to go through my feeds on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, fucking everything, curate the most important shit, and then give it to me so I could stay in the loop. And then the head of YouTube gaming tweeted at Mr. Beast and was like, I would pay you for that content. So I was like, damn. I was like, erotic newsletter, like important, like social media kind of news. I was like, what else could be a thing that could be just curated or made and like packaged into like a newsletter or a white paper or anything like that? Like I know we were talking about like the esports kind of stuff like back in the day. But I was just like, after hearing that this dude sold it for 75K in less than a year, I was like, holy shit, like that sounds like an opportunity and a half right there.
Yeah.
Even just to do the erotic again, just pick your own like subsection. You know what I mean? Like, the BDSM fucking newsletter would probably do well, you know? But I don't know. I found that shit super interesting.
Or you could do like, I don't, God, the fucking hiccups.
Bro, knock those hiccups off right now.
I know, dude. I feel like a 5-year-old. Dude, you could do something like This is so embarrassing. You could do something like a hentai and have like some like pay someone on Fiverr to like draw the cartoons or something.
Yeah. Dude, there's a lot of shit.
A lot of people are into that, especially with the rise in anime, like and how popular anime's gotten.
What's the difference between hentai and anime? Hentai's like the porn version of it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just like arbitrage. You know, you're making someone's art. You're like paying someone to do art, and then you're just putting it on a different platform for money.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm just saying. No, it's like that's a good idea. Wait, I found.
I love anime, bro. I feel like I've just finally like experienced it for the first time. And like, granted, I'm a dubbed type of dude, bro. All right, let me tell you that. I'm not trying to fucking listen to fucking people screaming in Japanese all night, you know?
I can't do the subtitles.
I can't do. I mean, I leave subtitles on because when Jules is sleeping, like I don't put the volume loud, so like I need a little. I need like I could hear just enough, but like I need like the subtitles for clarification, just to make sure I heard what I thought I heard. But I can't like just a different language thing. I just can't do it. But even though people say it's like more emotional and you could feel it better, but dude, I've been watching that shit. I'm on like I watched what I watch. Attack on Titan. I was watching Naruto. I was watching Avatar. I was watching not superhero, My Hero Academia. Like I'm like these are good. These are good, dude. I was like, I mean, I used to watch like DBZ back in the day, and like I never thought of anything more than I never thought of it as anime. It was just like a cartoon. You know what I mean? Like it was the same thing as like what was the one with like the little kid superheroes in the tree fort on Cartoon Network?
Something gang, something.
What was that called? With the bald guy, number one? Not Teen Titans, bro. No, the other one. Number one.
Kid Next Door. Kid Next Door.
Yeah, Codename Kids Next Door.
Codename Kid Next Door. Yeah.
I mean, obviously that's not anime, but it's all just like bringing me back to like my childhood. And I was like, holy shit, I love cartoons. Like, I'm a 26-year-old man and I love cartoons.
Bro, all my art in my bedroom is like anime based. So.
Oh, Lucas, I watched Spirited Away 2 nights ago. A couple days ago with Emily for the first time ever.
What'd you watch it on?
I used a VPN to go on UK Netflix.
That's mad smart.
Yeah. Because I heard it on Tim Ferriss's podcast. He had like an ad for one of the VPNs and was like, "Oh, if you can watch like," because he's like a fan of Spirited Away, like as one of his favorite movies. And he's like, "Oh, if you go to Japan or something, you can watch Spirited Away like on Netflix." And I just went and I looked for like where it was available on Netflix, and it's available in the UK.
How about
So, yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah,
It was really good. Yeah, it was like, it's like, I mean, it's
It's
obviously
like about
it's,
like child fucking sex trafficking and shit, right?
Oh no.
no.
Like the underlying message. What is the underlying message? Don't roll your fucking eyes at me, bro. Like,
No,
Joey, how do you not know?
We'll try and throw shit at it like that. It is that whole thing, but that's just like fan fiction.
No, I don't know what the underlying message was. I just thought it was a really good story.
I feel like the underlying message is just like tenacity and like just even if you're a kid, like you can fucking put your head down and do something and not give up.
Yeah, just watch it. It's good. It's worth it. I liked it.
Was it a free VPN you used?
No, but I'm sure you could get a trial. Like all of the Nord and Express and all of them do trials.
How about cats can't tell humans are a different species? They just think that we're big dumb cats.
Nah.
Where did you see that?
Some girl had a fucking I have a lot of fun facts on my as one of her prompts on her dating app. So I was like, give me a good one. And she was like, I see that all your pictures are with dogs, but I have a cat related one, and she sends me that, and I was like, wait a second, that's not real, is it? And she was like, no, a ton of research behind it. Like, apparently,
dude, have you guys seen the cat thing about on TikTok about how cats just try and mirror you as if you're on your laptop and your cat keeps crawling onto your keyboard, you just need to give them their own laptop and they'll sit there on their laptop and they'll leave you alone because they're just trying. Yeah, and it's true. There's so many TikTok videos of people doing it.
And they want to enjoy our cat system the same way that they want to have their whole cat system. So
I'm gonna pretend to hang myself and give a cat a noose and see what happens.
I'm gonna look up cat.
Oh, so that's the fucking don't kill cats or whatever. That was about you, Joey.
Oh
yeah. That Netflix thing.
What was it called? Don't fuck with cats.
Yeah, something like that.
Yo, how do you pull up?
I pull up.
How do you pull up TikTok on your computer? I could just
go to TikTok.com.
The first thing you see when you text yourself in that chat.
What chat? What are you talking about?
Just he texted himself in our group chat, and just the first thing above that is hilarious.
Oh shit! Hold on here.
What is it?
here's the talk. Oh, you can't hear the volume.
It's fine.
Basically, she's saying if you get them their own laptop, they'll leave you alone.
That's a book.
Dude, there's so many videos like this of people. Oh my god, I gotta close this. I'm getting too much input now. But yeah, that there's a lot of videos like that of people trying it and it works. I have one more idea that I want to bring up though.
Okay.
That is interesting. It's something that we talked about in Guns, Germs, and Steel. But somehow I came across this article. But I think it's super interesting idea that we've talked about and kind of tried to work through. But so the myth of the stolen country. So the idea that I don't know. It's an interesting idea that basically right now the going narrative is that Americans and Europeans stole the land of North America and South America generally from Native Americans, and that we are thieves in some way and we're eternally bad and we're essentially terrible people for doing it. But we had a conversation in Guns, Germs, and Steel about when we were talking about that, about how should we have just left them there? What should we have done? Should we have left them it would have taken them 10,000 years to get to the point that we're at today, instead of 500? What should we have done? And so he has some interesting points here. I have some quotes. Basically his whole point here as he's a historian talking about this, and he's this is the going narrative right now, but I feel it's problematic because basically, if you begin the day by acknowledging that your country, your society, and people are particularly egregious, this is a sure route to self-doubt, impotence, and societal failure. So like if we all just think like, oh, we're terrible people, like that's not going to lead to a healthy, successful society. But
Well, also like there's no we, it's like they, like
yeah,
I didn't, you didn't do shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just live in the world that our ancestors created.
Yeah, there's like, so basically like he says here, like no matter what, who discovered the new world, is inevitable that a large proportion of new world inhabitants would have died within the first few decades after first contact. This is universally acknowledged by specialists in the field. So basically like we talked about the germs, like at first contact, even if we didn't like kill anyone, like with our even, I say weeks, like I'm, technically European, like even if Europeans didn't kill people with their bare hands, like the viruses and the disease would have wiped out pretty much everyone within 10 years. Like if you give it a long enough time scale, like after contact and after like communicating with each other, like most of them would have died to disease anyway.
It's just not even would have, they did.
Well, yeah, most of them did, but 95%
then again, like, of the Native Americans died because of the smallpox.
It
wasn't no hypothetical that happened.
I just feel like we agree with all of everything that he's going to say.
No, all right. I know, but I just feel like it's an interesting point to bring up that basically like he's saying that Native Americans were like warlike. And so he's saying here, like, if you looked at a map of Native Canada 200 years before Europeans arrived, it would have been entirely different. In the meantime, some groups of natives would have slaughtered, bullied, or enslaved others. So it's just an interesting idea. I feel like the current like talking points is that like we're on stolen land, and anything that we do like to Native Americans is like wrong and unjust, and like the fact that we stole their land. So, and the fact like he has this point about so the anthropologist's vision of Native Americans as peace pipe smoking environmentalists, which gained purchase in the 1970s, has long given way. So basically, like we look at Native Americans as like this super peaceful, like happy, like dance around, have like vision trips and things like that.
Yeah,
but like
not
in reality, they
people
were like
or anything like that.
Yeah, in reality, they were like constantly at war with other tribes. And so if you look at what land was like over a long enough time period, or even after over 100 years, like whoever owned that land technically, or whoever lived there, new people were living there, like a whole new tribe or a whole new generation, like, so I don't know. It's just an interesting idea that I think like we've kind of touched on, but we haven't really like discussed it. I don't know. But I guess we might all agree on this.
I think I agree on it. And I also think that like, it's just like, I think where I like struggle to like, maybe I'm just an idiot and didn't realize like that was the thought of many people, like we're on stolen land, no matter how, like who advanced first. I feel like it's just like, that's kind of, it would have been one way or the other.
It's not stolen. Also, we traded a couple beans for this country.
Like literally,
right? We paid for it. We just got a good deal. All right.
I think that like it's just an interesting perspective, in the sense of like, no matter what, it was going to end that way, and there would always be a minority of people that feel that their land was stolen from them. But in the end, like that was just inevitable. It's just who advanced first, and it was the people who lived, in Europe had the east-south like advantage, or east-west. You know what I mean?
How about I don't think it's all of Connecticut, but I know in Waterbury, they're renaming Columbus Day to National Italian Heritage Day.
Oh, well,
really?
Which I don't give a fuck about. Honestly, I think it's sick. I'm like, word, we get our own fucking day. And like, we acknowledge Columbus as Italians. We didn't really lose anything. We just gained more exposure. I'm like, I don't give a.
The U.S. is also calling it it's an Indigenous Peoples Day as well.
We can all agree that Columbus wasn't a good guy, regardless of the fact of whatever happened was inevitable. Like, even if everything was inevitable, I think we could agree that, like, Columbus wasn't, like, some, like, hey, he just found America and all things were gravy. Like,
He just did what Genghis Khan, what everybody else did,
That's
I feel like nobody, I feel like every other conqueror, like, doesn't get shit on.
Yeah, but Genghis Khan also is a good person. Genghis Khan absolutely gets shit on. He raped and pillaged.
Yeah, he does. He does get shit on. Okay, like, you got me there. But
But at the
like,
same, yeah,
I feel like there's something to say about him getting a little bit more than like, I feel like he's pointed out at this point. You know why? Because like our country needs somebody to fucking like yell at all the time. And like like, oh yeah, he like, we got no bad guy right now. He's the bad guy, you know, like fuck him. Like a million, there's thousands of other generals and conquerors and horrible people in the world. But it's like he's just the de facto person right now because that's like the thing to get mad at is that like, oh, it was Columbus and the Aborigines and like that's
No, but you're also misunderstanding. I think that you're overlooking the fact that like he has his own national holiday and we idolize the guy, but it's more recognizing that he isn't someone that people should be idolizing. Like he is someone who is a mass murderer and like
so somebody should.
don't go to,
Okay, so these people would they have rather him never been born? And then where would we be?
no. I don't think that they're saying that. I
No,
think
no,
that people are saying
I'm
that.
saying that
No.
I'm just
I
saying
get
But
you
there,
shouldn't
there's a
idolize
difference
him.
between
I
being
know,
born
you
and
shouldn't
being
idolize the
celebrated.
guy.
no,
Yeah.
but it's just
I
like
get that you shouldn't.
like it was gonna happen no matter what. Like let's say it was fucking like Montezuma who went
So
across.
damned if you do, damned if you
No,
don't.
but
You know
I'm
what
just
I mean?
saying, no matter what, like let's say, Montezuma went across to Europe and fucking slaughtered all of Europeans, and then 500 years later, they're still celebrating Montezuma Day. And then they're like, oh shit, wait a second, they slaughtered all the Europeans. Like, that's kind of not okay now that we think about it. Like, maybe we shouldn't be like idolizing this guy who just fucking killed tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people. Let's just call it, World Europeans Day.
I don't think Columbus killed hundreds of millions of people.
He killed
Well, he
like
definitely killed tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, whatever. At the time, it was a large scale for the population. Like as a percentage of the
Intentionally,
population.
though, or was it due to the
Yeah.
smallpox
Well, all
and
right.
the spreading of it?
Regardless.
So
All
he
right.
killed a large
regardless.
percent of the living population
All right.
after the disease.
Joey, I think that regardless, it doesn't matter. He came over and he killed a bunch of people, and instead of being like peaceful, and we look at him as like this hero of like, hey, Columbus Day, like he sailed the ocean blue, when really it was like we ignore the fact in Columbus Day and all of our education that like, hey, there was like essentially, regardless, like maybe anyone would have done it, but there was like a genocide of sorts. Like, look, anyone would have done it. We can accept that fact that it would have happened regardless, but there was a mass like genocide. And so we shouldn't be like, hey, this guy, like back in the past, someone committed genocide against another group. Like now with our current thinking, like we don't think that's the right way to go about things. Maybe we'll be a little bit more peaceful in our conversations. Like we should not celebrate this guy and give him a whole day, and just kind of be like, all right, like maybe this guy doesn't deserve a whole day because like genocide's kind of bad, regardless of like if it would have happened or not. Like genocide's probably a bad thing that we shouldn't be celebrating.
I can't wait to hang up this call, look up all the bad things George Washington did, and then petition him to get off the Washington Monument.
Yeah,
I can't wait. I can't wait. And then what are your rationales going to be for that?
I still think it's different.
How?
He
He's
didn't
literally engraved in our fucking country. I'm sure he was a slave owner. I'm positive.
Yeah, I know, but all right.
How is
there's a
that any
difference
better?
I mean, genocide of tens of thousands or hundred thousands of people is very different. I think we can all like be honest
He
about
didn't
that.
even do it though. It was the disease.
Well, it was also him. Like, he definitely had a part in that.
Yeah.
the losing argument. That's all I'm gonna say. Is no.
Well, it's just like why? Like, there's no point in being on the side of like what's the value of being on the side of Christopher Columbus? It's really
I think there's a positive to what he did. I think the genocide was wrong, but I think he also has some accomplishments. No.
Yes, he definitely, but enough accomplishments to have a whole day and celebrate it by taking a day off of school and being like, hey, it's Christopher Columbus Day. Like, the guy sailed across the ocean, like, great.
Slaughtered
But
millions
like,
of people, yeah.
yeah, but great. Anyone could have said, someone eventually would have, like, what you're saying is it would have happened eventually. Somebody would have sailed across the ocean eventually.
Yeah.
Like, congrats that you were the first.
And
Like,
there were
but
500 years of them being, applauded, and then there would come to a point where people recognize that, wait a second, we're applauding someone who killed millions of people. And it's just a recognition of the history of the world and recognizing that that's not okay.
I'm not saying what
like,
he
we
did
wouldn't
was
want
right.
someone to do that today. Like, if someone sailed to a new, like, if someone from the U.S. sailed,
Yeah, but
to
we
some
don't
island,
have the option. Like,
Dude,
it's a different
if
world
someone went to the
today.
moon, if someone went to the moon and there was like a civilization and we went and we just slaughtered, we would not be okay with them just slaughtering tens of thousands of people.
I think it was a different time.
Bro, think of like any of these.
Okay, but now why would we
No.
celebrate that?
It's like what's the biggest modern like savagery of human life? I don't know.
Like killing of the Jews in like World War II-ish.
Sure. Okay, sure. Let's say Hitler fucking won, right? They'd be celebrating Hitler Day until like people finally like looked back in history books and recognized what had happened a couple hundred years from now and be like, wait a second, like we've been celebrating this whole belief of life and like we're actually like following a guy who committed, heinous acts of crime and genocide and whatever. But, because we are the society that happened today because of like his expansion of thought and whatever, like we have historically cheered this guy on, but now we recognize like, oh shit, that's just super fucked up. And it's the same thing with Columbus, and it's the same thing that someone, if it wasn't Columbus, it would have been, Cortez did in the South. And like, we probably shouldn't be celebrating fucking Cortez Day either.
So would you rather him never done it?
No, that's not.
No, that's not the point.
I know it's not the
Celebrating
point.
his holiday. Like he should.
Someone would have done it eventually, is the point. But like, that's the whole reason why he's not that special.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
Like he just happened to be the first one to do it.
Yes.
I'll agree to disagree.
Okay.
Whatever you guys say. It's no longer Columbus Day. You guys win. It's National Italian Heritage Day. I win. I don't care. Okay.
I think it's National Indigenous People Day.
Not a Waterbury, bro.
What are you saying, Lucas? You seem like you're.
You gotta go drink with his friends. Get off the call, you bum ass bitch.
I gotta play some video games. That's what I have to do.
I'm hopping right on. I can't wait to get off this call. I hate you both. This series is never starting.